expanded now, yeah.
But then I get again Yo, welcome to another episode of Kind of Creative Chats. I'm Dan Candler, and on today's episode, it's a little bit of an update, a little bit of a free episode, as in like free, spirited and free. Who knows what's going to happen? There's no structure to this episode. There's no structure. Well, to be honest, there's actually, most of the time, there's no structure to these podcasts, full stop. But I wanted to update because it's been a couple of weeks. It's been maybe possibly a month. We are in the Christmas season. Hello, Christmas tree, of 2023. And yeah, it's been busy. It has been busy. Kind of Creative is slowly but surely just becoming an identity. We're becoming a clarified creative support identity, and it's absolutely beautiful to see. The reason why we kind of had to take a bit of a pause on Kind of Creative Chats is because we put on another event on the 30th of November, which I have to say I'm actually really proud of. That's where this comes from. That's why I'm wearing this, which I'll explain very shortly. But I'm actually really proud of it. I'm proud of Kind of Creative. I'm proud of I'm proud of the team. I'm proud of myself, and I'm proud of the whole event as a whole. The art space Metre Squared, who we've worked with before, came and approached me at late October about an exhibition event. And I took that exhibition idea and I just extended it tenfold. We made it into way more than just a creative exhibition event. We made it into a festival. We made it into an expression of creative freedom. And it really made me see, I mean, being in this event and seeing the event, it really made me see, and really made me emotional, because it made me see how the path we're on and what we're doing, what we're doing with Kind of Creative, and to see the joy that this mission is bringing to all the people that came to the event. The event itself, we had, I think, 20 artists. We had four or five music performers. We had live artists. We had a live muralist. We had a tango couple perform a routine during one of the performances. We had a music jam session. It was just unreal, people. It's the biggest event that we've done. And it was really, truly exciting. So I guess that also brings me on to this jacket as well. Something that I'm doing with Kind of Creative is at all my events, I'm wearing a particular blazer that either I have made or that will be created on the day of the events. And that's what this is. You can see the lovely drawn cat. We've got some hearts over here. That's there we go. Oh, that's what, let me show you the back, guys. Let me show you the back. The back is oh yeah. Yeah. So it's really cool. And I think what I love about this, and what I love about the whole event and what it was all about is creative freedom. I think in this creative world, we have the impression of creative freedom, but is it really creative freedom? or is it the ideas of a soul individual and their creative expression and the following of that creative expression? I think a lot of these events, I think with events and stuff, it can be very easy for it to be very regimented and have a certain structure and have a schedule and going by the book. And yes, of course, we have to follow some sort of structure and some sort of schedule. But what was so beautiful about Unbound Perspectives, which is what the event was called, was there was so much creative freedom. We had a live artist who was just doing what they wanted to do whenever they wanted to do it. And then from that, we had a live sketch jam session, which was just incredible. Um, it was an amazing artist by the name of EJ, who we brought on to showcase his art, but then to also do some live sketches with his amazing animated and like anime kind of style. And he took that, and he took one of the models who he connected with, and they started creating and just drawing some flowers that were on the wall. And then we had one of our fashion designers who was there with their garments come and bring one of the models something to wear, which then led to about 10 other artists just bringing out their sketchbooks and creating. And it was just beautiful to see. There's me running around as the host, trying to make sure everyone's okay, presenting the musicians and presenting the guest speakers that we had. And I walk into a room, and there's this creative freedom happening, and it's absolutely beautiful to see. And I said, please continue, do what you need to do. That's what this event is for. And it really was that. And that's what I really feel like Kind of Creative is. It's an expression of creative freedom and finding the creative freedom within all of us, so we can have the financial freedom we need to survive and live, but from an authentic place. Especially now, like I always say, especially now, but like especially now, with everything going on, and the world how it is, it's becoming a lot more. It's becoming a lot more harder to be free. Let's look at free speech, for instance. Free speech is becoming harder and harder and harder. We're in a cancel culture where you can't you can't say anything that's that's not a part of the narrative of our time, of what of what higher societal, all these higher kind of individuals with money are trying to impose on us. And I think spaces like communities and creative spaces like Kind of Creative and Metre Squared and all these different places allowing people to be free is just something that we all need. We all need as, yes, creative individuals, but we all need as a society. We can't innovate and we cannot progress to be better, more positive, happy human beings if we are constrained by a narrative that people don't believe in and are manipulated to believe. It's something I've been really passionate about lately, and this has got a bit. I said that this was a bit of a free episode, but this is going on a bit of a turn. It was all positive, blah blah blah, into like just realism, guys. Oh, because it is like we're in a world now where big corporations, pharmaceutical companies, big media are pretty much running the show. They're controlling governments and trying to better the interests of their financial gain, which they are manipulating us they're manipulating us into the sense that it is that it's the future they are taking us on is a positive and prosperous future. But is it prosperous? How many people are now living on the streets? How many people are struggling around the world? How many wars are there around the world? It's just something I'm really passionate about because I get so frustrated and so and I just don't understand how more people and more of us aren't realizing the hardships and the shit that's going on in the deeper world of the people who are essentially our leaders. I just find it crazy, and I think all of us. I think the only way for us to beat this narrative is to unite as localized communities, as smaller communities that are in bigger communities, but the actual sense of the world of what community is, which is support for others and support for yourself. It's a parallel line. It's a parallel line of support. You help yourself, and you need to help yourself in order to survive. But along that journey, you need to help others. There needs to be the both too. It can't be this toxic capitalist mentality that has been going on for centuries, decades, whatever the fuck it is. Like, we need to have a new mentality, and the mentality needs to be of supporting your neighbor, supporting your community. How can I use my skills, my mentality, my positivity to help the others next to me? And that's what I think we're lacking, because we're all struggling, because we are all struggling. So how do we combat that struggle? And not just think about ourselves and our family? That's the tricky thing. That is the trick. That's the tricky thing. And the thing that what we have to do is we have to understand I guess, some self-sacrifices for ourselves in order to make the world a better place. Yeah, I mean, guys, I have no answers. I have no idea, but I'm starting to see a pattern. I'm starting to see people who are intellectual, people who know that what they're fucking talking about, not knowing what is coming, and worried, and that must say something. So that's why I feel like I'm on this mission even more to create Candid Creative as an identity of support in the creative world, because because even the creative world itself is starting to struggle even more, because people, it's almost like people don't see the value of what creative individuals do, but yet everything you see around you is creative. It's built by a creative idea and someone's initiative to make something better, and have a different mindset than the mindsets we already have, to make something better. This Christmas tree was made. This is a plastic Christmas tree. This thing, look at this. This is my photo shoot. This is my photo shoot for a camera thing that I got one Christmas. Like, even this, you know what I mean? Like, all of this stuff was made. We wouldn't be able to have this stuff on our Christmas trees. We wouldn't be able to have these Christmas trees if people didn't have these new ideas. Sorry, let me just have these new ideas. But yet we're now going into a world where we're not allowed new ideas, and we just get cancelled if there's a new idea of how the world could be a better place. That's what I'm trying to say, is the link to there is a link within everything. I always say creativity is everything and everyone. It's because there is a link between everything, all of the psychology, the philosophy, the mentalities. It's all interlinked, but yet we look at everything as divided, and in its labeled narrative, which then separates us and creates these mentalities of one direction. And unfortunately, for the wider population who potentially find it hard to be aware of the whole picture, it's very easy for those individuals to be manipulated into that one direction, and just have the thought processes of that everything else is wrong, and that is wrong. We all need to listen to each other. We all need to listen to each other. We need to understand each other, and we need to accept each other in all senses of the world, in the world of the word. Acceptance. Candid Creative is actually doing an editorial creative series on acceptance at the moment. I'm not going to reveal too much, because I want it to be this massive kind of exciting project that we release, which will be released over the next kind of couple of months. But that's it, guys. Like, I'm just on this mission now. I'm so sick of seeing the world the way it is and the people being manipulated into this direction and not having this full awareness of what we can be as a society, because we can be better. Like, it's just, we can be better and we can be different, and we can be a community which supports one another, helps one another, and acknowledges one another as the creative individuals and the amazing individuals that we all are. We all have a spark and we all have something special about us. And we all need to look for that in each other, and show how amazing the human race actually is. How amazing we are, and show how amazing we are, and show how we can be less destructive, because that's all we're doing at the moment. Is just we're just destroying. We're destroying people's. We're destroying the ability for people to be their true, authentic self. We're destroying the ability for people's free speech. We're destroying the ability for people to have a voice. And in these dark times, these struggling, dark times, this is the time where we need it more than ever. We need community more than ever. We need unity more than ever. We need to come together, band together, to find out how we can make this world a better place. Oh. All right, I think that's my rant over, guys. I think that has to be my rant over, because I tell you what, though, I've been wanting to just reach out and just blur this out to the world for a long time, because it frustrates me. But we, as Kind of Creative, and as myself, and all the other creative communities that I'm now a part of and support and help, the mission I feel we're all on is to create a more unified place. And it starts with you, it starts with me, it starts with these tiny, small communities that are popping up, and the bigger communities, which I have hope for. And I am optimistic. I really do think we can change this world, and we are in a changing time. That's why we're in this struggle, this fight for reality, because we all know and we feel this change that's happening within the world around us. And it can go two ways, guys. And I guess the question is, for everyone, what way do you want that to go? Do you want to spread positivity and make this world a more positive place, and be kind to your neighbor? Or do you want to follow the narrative and follow the destruction of what our leaders and people in power and people with money are taking us on, which is an old mentality of financial growth and power? Because I don't know about you guys, but I don't see it working. We've been through however many wars. There is constant wars happening, and we've got wars in every single fucking continent, which just means death and awful struggling times for even more people. But don't worry, because the rich and the powerful and the people who have the money and the people who are profiting from wars and profiting from pharmaceutical, medical disadvantages, they're all fine. They can stay in their high tower and they'll all be good. But you as an individual who is amongst the most of the population as individuals, are we really getting a say anymore with that? Are we even getting a say to say that we are looking for change? No, we're trying to, but unfortunately, these individuals, these collective individuals, these minor and these individuals, there is a small collective, this small collective individuals, they don't want the change, because that means that they will lose what they have. They will most likely lose what they have built, and they won't know how to adapt to that change, because a lot of us don't know how to adapt to change. But the problem is we need to understand that that's okay. Like, it's okay to not understand how to adapt to change or be comfortable with change, but we need to understand that the natural reality of life is change. Every single second of every single day of every single year of every single month is changing. We as individuals are changing. Our cells are changing. Evolution literally mean it. Well, it doesn't literally mean change, but evolution is change. Nature is change. So I think in order for us to, I guess, be a better society and a better race, we need to adopt the idea of enjoying change. Yeah, I think so. Anyway, I don't know. Maybe. I mean, if any of that made sense, and if you have any ideas of what you think the change needs to be, and what the future you see for us, where we are going, the direction we're going as a species, as a race, as a human, as the human beings we are, as the creative world we are, then let us know. Yeah, reach down in the comments. Let's make a conversation about this. I think we need more conversations about this. I'm very inspired by Russell Brand and Joe Rogan and even Elon Musk and a lot of people who tend to speak very freely. Jordan Peterson as well. They speak their truth. They speak honestly, and they preach for a better world. And the way that they are doing that is through honesty. It's through truth. It's from being open, and it's from taking someone's idea. I actually don't know where I was going with that, but but what I was trying to say is about truth. It's about honesty, and it's about adapting to that change and being open with it, and being able to allow yourself and others to speak freely and to be able to create freely as well. And that brings us all full circle to what that event, the true meaning of what that event meant to me. And that's why I got emotional. It's because I saw joy and creative freedom within a space. I saw creative freedom within a space where the world around us is not free, and we're going so on the path of non-freedom. And it's fucking scary, man. Like, there's so much shit that's going on under covers that we're just not aware of, that is heading into a direction of control. And once we give those powers, then what do we do? So to have these little pockets of freedom, like Unbound Perspective, the event where people could freely write on my blazer, or draw on my blazer, and just and allow their creativity to exuberate. It's powerful. It's powerful for me, because I don't know. I just want to spread positivity, and I want there to be positivity around the world, because I've felt negative in my life, very, very, very negative. And I think, especially from this kind of creative chats, what I've found from this is people who tend to have a negative, say, childhood or a negative origin story, or maybe not even negative, because my origin story wasn't negative. It was a very positive story, but internally it was negative, and internally I had struggles. And internally I had I had a very bad mentality because of certain external things. But what I've found is that is people with those struggles tend to go towards a direction of trying to make people people around them not struggle in the area of what they've faced. And I think my whole life I've just constantly wanted to create a positive reality for myself, and understand how I can release a positive mentality to the world and inspire positivity. Because I just can't. This negative mindset and destructive mindset. It doesn't help yourself, and it doesn't help the people around you. And if it doesn't help the people around you, it doesn't help the community around you. And it's this constant ripple. That's why I always say drop a little bit of positivity into positivity into a lake, and let that lake take the ripples of positivity. I generally just made that fucking shit up. I'm not gonna lie to you. Oh, guys, the whole message of this podcast, even this episode, the events we're doing as Kind of Creative, the people we're supporting, the ideas we're trying to put out there, the projects we're doing, my own personal projects, everything about what Kind of Creative is and what my identity is about positive change, and about inspiring a new message and an inspiration of thinking. How do we think better? And I'm trying to do that while learning that myself. So every time I push past an anxiety, or I push past a blockade in my life, I will always try and help individuals with what I've learned. I just need to find better ways in how to do that. Because this is the one anxiety that I've always faced, is having this personal solo conversation and letting my ideas out there. Because I don't know if you've noticed from this whole entire episode, but my brain goes into different directions, probably about 5 to 6 million different directions all at the same time. And I can be very passionate about certain topics. And when my brain goes onto a tangent or into a journey, I kind of go on that journey, and then I think it's all to do with my self-diagnosed kind of ADHD vibes, as well as dyslexia, as well as all that other stuff that all of us are kind of. See, I'm doing it again, guys. I'm going to leave it there. But I don't know about you. But I feel like I've actually really needed this. I feel like I've really needed to let this out. And I hope it gives some sort of value. I hope someone out there listens to this and feels my passion and listens to my words and gets some sort of positive value from it. And hopefully, it can change the mindset. It can change the mindset of even one individual in a positive way. Because something I've always, the mindset, what I've adapted over the last 2 years is rather than trying to impress the world, just impress one person. Because it's the same as that drop in the lake that sends a ripple. Just try and inspire or help or support one person, and then once you've supported that person, support someone else and keep that going. And that's why I hope with this. So even if I reach one individual, guys, if you're that one person, let me know in the comments if I've inspired you in any way, if I've given any sort of help, support, or inspiration, or positive mentality, or just a fucking kick up the arse to change in a positive way. Please just let me know in the comments. Reach out to me personally. Even give it a like. Give the video a like. But yeah, do let me know, because it really helps. It helps this channel. It helps my journey. It helps me, potentially help and support even more people. So yeah, thank you so much everyone for listening. If you have got this far, I'm Dan Candler. This is Candler Creative Chats. Please do subscribe. Let's make this journey a collective journey, and a journey to support and make this creative world and world in general a better place. So cool. Thanks a lot, guys. Peace out, and all that shizzle, and